closer to the big 5-0 for Monday, July 18th, 2011.
We're in Canada, shouldn't we be centimeter closer to the big 5-0?
Centimeter, I never heard anyone say that.
Oh, I've never heard the before. We use the metric system up here. Why are we inching anywhere?
I guess technically that's true. Centimetering towards 50.
There you go.
In 2 weeks, we'll have centimeter all the way there. Now, speaking of metric system,
Yeah.
it's pretty hot here today.
It is.
Our temperature peaked at 34 degrees Celsius.
And that's hot.
And that's very hot. I did the calculation for our American friends. That equals 93.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's on the radio station.
93.2.
Hot radio.
High FM. So it's pretty hot here today. Sticky and generally gross. If there's anyone out there that doesn't really believe that every hot in this country, it's damn hot here today.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Just for fun, I went and looked up the weather in Atlanta, Georgia, where Walking Dead is filming, and they often complain about the heat. It's only 31 Celsius down there today.
Nice.
So we are hotter than Georgia by a couple of degrees.
Did you spend the day outside in the hot sun? Hanging on the car eating sandwiches?
I often do that in my car driveway.
It's not a hot day.
I get to bring a sandwich. Why not? No, we were outside a little bit. We went to the mall this morning and then came back and then we walked outside. We stayed indoors.
Nice.
And they played and I watched some TV.
So that's one advantage we have is that we don't have to be outside filming with zombies.
It's true.
Or be zombies and zombie makeup because that sounds brutal.
Well, standing around in zombie makeup or doing that kind of thing in 31 Celsius or 34 if it was here. Either way, it's damn hot. So on the program today, we have our Walking Dead actors spotlight, Sarah Wayne Callies. But before that, we have got an update on Walking Dead news for the week. The news. Let's get ready to it. Season 2 is well underway filming. So there's all kinds of news coming out about season 2 now. We've got dispatches on the set, we've got interviews, we've got stuff going on. So there's more things to talk about this week than there have been in weeks past all spring.
That's nice.
Isn't it exciting? So the first thing that happened, well, not first thing, but the most recent thing I suppose was last night. AMC premiered Breaking Bad season 4, and during the show they did a short sneak peek for Walking Dead season 2. Nice. If I can that's right. We watched it. It was kind of cool. Not a lot happened, but enough. But enough.
It set the stage.
It did. It was rather graphic too.
Yeah,
if you noticed. So what happened is Rick is in a forest, looks like all by himself, hiding behind a tree, and
I thought he was hiding. I think he was lying in wait.
he was lurking.
Well, he wasn't lurking, but he was lying in wait. He knew what was going on. He wasn't hiding. He was not afraid.
No, he didn't look afraid, did he?
No, he was lying in wait.
He knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was hiding from view of the zombie.
Yes.
So the zombie didn't know exactly where he was, I have to assume. Anyways, he picks up a rock that looks like styrofoam.
It was a foam rock, yeah.
But enough of the rock that I'm okay with.
Well, he got in that foam head pretty
And
good.
he bashed in that zombie's head until it was flattened like a mashed pear.
A mashed pear.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, really good.
So what do you think when you saw him hammering that rock down his head, continually getting more concave?
Well, what I thought of Rick was that he's becoming the Rick Grimes that we know in a lot of comic books. He's he's more confident. He's not afraid of the zombies anymore. He's on the offensive, and he knows how to deal with them. So that was nice to see. But special effects wise, it seemed a little cheesy. Like the rocks seemed a little styrofoamy and sort of the head with little dashy bits. But overall, I think it seems very powerful. It was a nice way to set the tone for the upcoming season.
You know, it could have been early too. This is the first non-behind scenes footage we've seen, right? And they might have shot this on day one, first thing, just to get it away because they knew they wanted to use it for something. They don't have finished rocks yet, or the zombie head isn't quite done yet. So I don't look okay.
Yeah, I think it was special great. No, Rick was great.
He was great. He is generally great. So that's cool. It's online now. If you head over to the AMCTV.com Walking Dead blog, it was posted shortly after it aired on Breaking Bad. I did something funny just in case it wasn't going to be online anywhere. I canned it off my own TV while we were watching Breaking Bad, so I could rewatch it a couple times if I needed to.
That's great use of technology.
Isn't it? I held my phone up to the TV and video.
Oh, your phone?
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's what I mean. I recorded it on the phone. I recorded the TV on another recording device.
Are you now getting to copyright infringement? Is that what you're doing?
No, I deleted it because I
No, it's the fact you recorded it. I think it's copyright infringement. Regardless of what you do it.
Well,
we won't get into that. We're in Canada. We're in kind of gray area.
Kind of gray zone here.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's legal but not enforced.
I wanted to make sure I watch it again a couple times, so we can talk about it in depth here. That was the reason.
Nobody's gonna don't worry.
I hope not.
Who listens to this? Nobody listens to this.
I don't know.
Especially the cost.
One or two. Yeah, maybe. We'll find out. If we're on the air in 2 weeks. You'll know. All right. The Emmy nominations were announced. Those are the awards for outstanding achievement in TV. I don't know if that's their tagline. That's what
awards.
The Walking Dead garnered 3 nominations in the categories of outstanding prosthetic makeup, well deserved, outstanding visual effects, and outstanding sound editing. I think also well deserved.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of hullabaloo on the internet because a lot of writing because the show was not nominated for any of the major categories, such as best drama series, any of the lead actors, or anything like that.
Right.
People were a little upset about that based on I guess because the ratings were so good and people almost universally loved the show. Maybe not 100%, but everyone seemed to think it was a fantastic show. Certainly one of the best of the new shows of the year.
Yeah.
So why wasn't it nominated in these other categories? That's what I want to pose as a question here right now.
Well, the only thing I can think of really is that there were only 6 episodes. So it's more like a miniseries than an actual television show. I know the Emmy also have miniseries stuff in them. But that might politically be a little what the judges were thinking or whoever was in charge of nominations. You know, it's like, only 6 episodes. We'll wait till next year until they have a full season before we really give them the nod.
Yeah, you're kind of saying they almost weren't taking it seriously the first year, for lack of a better way to say it.
You know, when you take it seriously, that could also be true for the entire zombie genre, right? If you take this is the first real zombie television show. You know, they have a lot of ground to go before they really take it seriously by the man.
It is, but in some ways it's just it's related to science fiction, right? And sci-fi shows have been especially lost. Although that makes a special case because it was so ubiquitous. But what I did here is I listed the competition, or what did get nominated in some of these other categories. And I just thought I went through them here. Best drama series nominees are Boardwalk Empire, The Good Wife, Mad Men, Friday Night Lights, Dexter, and Game of Thrones.
Like, holy crap, those are good shows.
There's a lot of quality TV right there. Now, and you've seen more of these shows than I have.
I've seen all.
You watch Game of Thrones already?
Not all of it. I've seen half the series already.
All right, so you've seen almost everything there. I've only seen Mad Men, Friday Night Lights, and that's it.
Game of Thrones is good and it's actual fantasy, which is nice, but it's kind of boring too, right? It's a political thing. It's just like every once in a while, we'll be watching and you're like bored.
I don't watch TV very often.
That's fine.
But people love the Game of Thrones. Of course, Dexter's fantastic. Friday Night Lights is always good. Mad Men, Good Wife, Boardwalk Empire, you like. So yeah, when you see that list of TV, I'm not surprised that Walking Dead didn't get nominated in best drama series.
Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm not disappointed because they picked good shows. It's not like they picked a bunch of crap and said, The Walking Dead does not live up to the standards of this crap, because then I'd be very upset. But those are good shows. I've seen at least half of the episodes of all those shows. I've seen all the episodes of all those shows except Game of Thrones. So it would be nice to see on that list. It would be a good company, but those are good shows.
Well, let's go for next year. Let's say we have 13 episodes in season 2, and if they maintain quality, that like we expect them to, maybe we'll see it next year.
I hope so.
The actor in drama series nominees were Steve Buscemi for Boardwalk Empire, Michael C. Hall for Dexter, Kyle Chandler for Friday Night Lights, John Hamm for Mad Men, Hugh Laurie for House, and Timothy Olyphant for Justified. So
Justified,
a lot of the same shows there, but we had House and Justified, and again, crap load of good actors right there.
I'm not a big House fan, but I like Hugh Laurie in general.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen a couple episodes of House, and I like that show in small doses. The character gets me after a while. If I had to watch a whole bunch in a row, I don't think I'd do it.
Right.
But as you said, Hugh Laurie, great actor. Timothy Olyphant, he's amazing.
Justified is great.
I gotta watch Justified soon. So
I like his character in Justified more than I like his character in Deadwood.
that's saying a lot.
You love Deadwood.
So I'm not surprised that we don't. Again, not surprised we don't see Angelina in there, lead actor. But next year, quickly 2 more categories. The actress in drama series: Kelly McDonald for Boardwalk Empire, Christina Hendricks for Mad Men, Michelle Forbes for The Killing, the Ramsey Show, Archie Panjabi for The Good Wife, Margot Martindale for Justified, and Christine Baranski for The Good Wife. All good. Haven't seen them many of myself.
Archie Panjabi is the character I think is, and she is good.
The thing about this is the one that struck me here is Michelle Forbes for The Killing. I mean, she was good in that. But her performance in the show was a little one note. It's like how could we? She was the depressed, sort of depressed mother throughout the thing, depressed angry mother, and that's fine. That's what she needed to do in that role. But if she's nominated, I could have seen Laurie Golden being nominated in that category.
Well, okay, so I don't mean to say wouldn't, but I think you are correct that she didn't know like that. She was this at the beginning, and that basically just didn't her character didn't deepen. It just got clarified.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. It was consistent. I mean, throughout. And finally, casting. I pulled this one out just because I think the casting in Walking Dead is phenomenal. Everyone's cast really well. So casting for drama series: Boardwalk Empire, Mad Men, Killing, The Good Wife, and Game of Thrones. You can see a theme here. Here's one where I guess they look at. I don't know how they got casting. I'm not sure, but if you ask me, I think The Walking Dead is one of the best cast shows there is.
Yeah, I would put The Walking Dead in here instead of The Good Wife. Truly, right? In my opinion, Game of Thrones, the cast is phenomenal. They like each individual character for its own merits. Same thing. Boardwalk Empire, same thing. And then all the characters are awesome. Killing, same kind of thing.
The Killing I think is an especially well cast show. Actually, they pull out some like Michelle Forbes we know from Battlestar and some other places. But the guy who plays Holden on The Killing, he was still well known as far as I know, Swedish guy, I believe. And he's cast really well. And everyone on the show's cast pretty good. So I'm not surprised that's in there. But I think The Walking Dead stacks up against any of these.
I would put Walking Dead on this list at least. If I were in charge of the nominations of the Emmys, maybe I should be. Of course, I should at least be included. It would be nice to be asked. Anyway.
Just to be asked. You know what? If I was going to pull one of these out, and granted, I haven't seen them all, but if I was going to pull out one I asked, it would be Mad Men. It's been around for 4 years. It's well cast, sure, but I mean, that show was cast 4 years ago. They're not bringing a lot of new people in all the time. So
well, it depends on the definition of casting, right?
Well, yes.
They did a good job casting the show. That's a first year kind of award, right? Especially a new show award every year. Whereas casting is the best cast on television.
The award goes to the casting director, though, not like the producer or whatever. As far as I know. So it's the actions of the casting director. So when they nominate Mad Men, I think they're looking at what they did in the last season of Mad Men in terms of new characters extra characters and maybe just how it all worked together that way. So I don't know 100%.
Well, yeah, I call it Mad Men in a good way then, because they've been on for multiple seasons. Everything else is new.
I'm not saying casting directors doing anything more, because obviously they are. People are coming and going all the time. It just seems like, some shows might be a little bit more deserving than others. But let's move on. So all we can say is congratulations to Walking Dead for the 3 nominations it got. The 3 well-deserved. Make up for sound editing, and hopefully it takes all 3 of those home.
I would like that.
The first zombie of season 2. This comes from a video on released by AMC. It's a sort of spotlight on one of the zombies that Greg Nicotero, our visual effects supervisor, he runs through. I guess I found one of the extras on set who especially liked and kind of did extra work with her. Yep. And the note I made here is that maybe this is the Bicycle Girl of season 2. As you all know, we had Bicycle Girl in season 1, and she got all sorts of press and featured and videos on her. And I think this might be the one we're going to see a lot of for season 2.
Oh, she runs a show.
We should absolutely. All we know is her first name is Ashley. So
nice.
Ashley, if you're out there, give us a call and come on, you can tell us all about it. But Nicotero walked us through sort of what they did to her, giving her contacts, and she had really big eyes, which looked really freaky.
They really
She really opened those eyes wide. Yep. They were abnormally large and important to the rest of her head.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. It looks amazing.
She had a zombie walk too. She was doing her zombie thing there.
Yep, it's a cool video. You can find it over on. Well, I watched it on MTV's Slash page blog. I'm pretty sure it's on the AMC Walking Dead blog as well. Go check that out. It's pretty fun. So next item. This weekend, as we know, is the San Diego Comic Con, which we are very familiar with, and which we were at, but it didn't work out.
We'll be meeting like tomorrow.
Or maybe even today. No, it's Monday. Probably next
Tomorrow or Wednesday, we'll be getting a plane.
Going to California, my favorite place.
California,
That's right. So the Walking Dead panel will take place on Friday, July 22nd at 11:15 a.m. Kind of strange start time, but that's where it is, or when it is. It is going to have the following people in the panel: Andrew Lincoln, John Bernthal, Sarah Wayne Galley, Stephen Yoon, Jeffrey Munn, Frank Darabont, Dale Earnhardt, Robert Kirkman, and Greg Nicotero.
Who else?
I think that's all the same people that were there last year. I don't remember exactly, but that's that's almost everybody right there. Yep. After the panel, there will be an autograph session at Walking Dead booth number 3721 from 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. Nice. And if anyone out there is going to the con and especially the panel, we want to hear from you.
Stick your phone in their face and get them to give us a number. Hi, this is Greg Nicotero, and you're listening to the Talking Dead podcast.
Well, that'd be cool. But even beyond web that, if you want to go and tell us what it was like and describe the footage they show, you can come on the Skype and tell us all about it.
That'd be really good.
It'd be really good. Since we can't go, we're kind of bummed about that. I'm sure somebody out there is going.
Let's email everybody that's going and see if they want to do this for us.
Do you have a list of everyone?
No, contact them. Sure, they'll do it.
Sure, why not? We have a contact list of all of your holders.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm sure they want to do it.
Please, we couldn't go, so we want to contact them.
Yeah, that's right.
We wish we were nice over there. Actually, they would do that for us.
We wish we were there. But if you are there seriously want to come on, at least send us your thoughts in an email or some phone messages. And if you are really great, by all means, we'll get on Skype and you can tell us all about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We can make it work.
Do we know what we done there we can send?
No, sadly we don't.
Oh, well.
Sadly we don't. I'm sure some of the other Walking Dead podcasters are going to be there, so maybe we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
Do something together. All right, continuing on the theme of season 2, Robert Kirkman did a set video. Now, if you remember from last year, he's kind of the guy that goes to the set and just sort of jokes around. Yep. Last year he was under a huge pile of zombies and just sort of started dying on Robert Kirkman. Well, he kind of does the same thing this year. He hangs around, he goofs off. At one point he tries on his hat and plays his gun and doesn't really know how to use it and stuff like that. Which is funny because Andrew Lincoln takes the gun out of the holster, checks the cylinder for any bullets before he hands it to him.
Good idea.
I guess so. It's not a real gun probably.
It doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a.
I'm sure if there's blanks, which means it's probably needs to be safe when you hand over to someone. Because even blanks are dangerous.
Is that what it's called in that kind of gun where there's a round thing with the 6 bullets in it? Cylinder? Okay. So I think they were just doing it for a laugh.
Yeah. Well, also, when you hand it to somebody, you check it before you hand it to them, and then when you get it, they're supposed to check too.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I guess you don't accidentally shoot anybody in the face.
Yeah. Every time you pick up a firearm, you're supposed to assume it's loaded until you check it and make sure it's not.
Oh, also good idea. And as we know, these guns don't hit people in the head, so if there was ever an
Oh
accident,
yeah, they're dangerous.
it wouldn't be like a shot to the foot or something someone would recover from. Yeah, it would be right to the nose.
Yeah, it would be shot to the head, and some kind of medical squib would go off because people are really shot in the head in the show. So
I guess not.
They have a medical weapon.
So yeah, pretty much Robert Kirkman in the video just goofing around and hanging out with some of the zombies and cast and so on. So if you're that, go check it out. I thought it was entertaining, but not a lot new there. But that's okay. That's what Kirkman does. He's getting writers from when he goes to set. He's just like, I'm here to act like an idiot. Why not?
Yeah. I have no specific job here, so I'm not under any pressure. So let's have fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Me too. I don't need to give me a job on set, so we'll talk to people.
So speaking of goofing off, last week a teaser trailer for season 2 was apparently released. It came out. Some people were like, "Wow, look at this, looks kind of cool." And then a few minutes later, everyone said, "No, it's fake." And in fact, Kirkman and I believe Galen heard on Twitter and said, "There is no season 2 trailer yet. This is a good one, but it's fan made." Yeah. Now the funny thing about that happened after is that FX UK during their premiere of another show called Falling Skies broadcast it as a teaser for Walking Dead season 2. So I think one of two things happened. Right. One, they were fools for whatever reason and actually took the air, which I don't think is very likely. Right. Or B, they made it. It has nothing to do with season 2 other than they staged some zombies and a guy who sort of looks like Andrew Lincoln to take a shot at the zombies.
Right. It's definitely fake in my head. My brain tells me it's fake. It's a little too gratuitous, and special effects are so out of line with the way the show is, and so it's such a departure from any kind of style that the Walking Dead use in anything, posters, trailers, anything.
But the thing is, the word fake is what I'm wondering about, because like fake implies that like fan made or something completely unrelated made it. I think FX UK probably created this thing as their own ad using different zombies, different effects, and a character who was dressed in the costume for Rick, but it wasn't him because you don't get to feel his face here.
Or they found out who made it, contacted them, someone put it on TV, and they did.
And who would say no to that?
And who would say no to that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. As far as I know, no one has come out either way other than Galen Hurd saying it's not real. But the interesting thing is she said it's fan made. So if FX UK is doing it, even the producers in the US don't know what's going on, which I find hard to believe.
Well, yeah, they may have okayed it, kind of thing. Fan made it doesn't mean it's fake. It just means it's not.
They're fans, I guess.
They're fans. Okay, they make stuff.
That's true.
Remember the opening credits we had for last season?
Yeah,
those were awesome.
They're
Fan made.
I think they're still better than what
Yeah, I think
the actual show uses. But that's a different story. So anyways, if you want to check out this fake
fan made.
fan
Fan made trailer. Let's it's good. It's a little too gratuitous. I'm not sure like the slow motion, the flames, and the bullet, and all that kind of stuff. But fan made.
There was a lot of flame coming out of that gun. It was cross gun or handgun / flamethrower.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hand or flamethrower. One hand, I'm gonna make
I mean, if you instead of using gunpowder, use butane. The bullet would go very slowly. It's a flame.
That is true. That is true.
Zip gun.
What if the gun go anywhere?
I know.
Probably just fall against the barrel.
Maybe get that far. You need a lot of pressure to get that thing through the barrel. It doesn't quite fit. It's actually bigger than the barrel itself.
Really?
Because that way when there's rifling in the barrel,
I know that.
so the bullet has to be slightly bigger, so the grooves are made in the bullet, so the bullet actually spin. So they can't be an exact fit.
Mm.
So well, and it always barrel takes a lot of pressure.
Like a screw.
It's shooting out. It's like having a nice set.
There you go. Well, do it fast. All right. So go over. I watched this at war-movies.ca, but it's all out there. You can go check it out if you want and see what we mean. Oh, one more thing. I thought Rick's arms didn't look right. That's what tipped me off. They show him holding out his arms. They don't look like Andrew Lincoln's arms.
You
I'm
are
sorry.
an expert on this? Too big or too small?
It's maybe a little too big, a little too muscular in the arm. Yeah, like, see, my arms thin and girly and no muscles at all.
Yeah.
I'm sort of in between me and this guy in this trailer. I think is where Andrew Lincoln falls.
Right. So you think Andrew Lincoln is more muscular than you, but less muscular than the dude in
The guy in the trailer.
Right.
And that's what tipped me off.
I didn't know you had an arm scale like that.
Neither did I.
My arms, this guy's arms, that guy's arms, that muscular guy's arms, and Schwarzenegger's arms.
That's right. That's the arm scale.
Okay, Dolph Lundgren on there somewhere.
No, you only need one guy at the top.
Popeye on the other.
I give it 3 arms.
Goes from all the way up to Popeye.
Right, exactly. That's how I rate stuff. It's the arm scale. Okay, interview with Bear McCreary. As we all know, he is the composer on the show, and he was interviewed by Bloody Disgusting about scoring season 2. He said, geographically, obviously, we are on a journey and we're traveling and reaching new locations and perhaps new people. Also, as relationships broaden and as we get to know our characters better, I think the emotional connection we have with these characters is going to deepen as well. I think that will translate into a deeper score. I think the score will start commenting in a more emotional way. I'm really looking forward to that.
That sounds fun.
So he's just got some big ideas. I guess music supports what's going on screen, and he does it better than anybody, I'd say. He also says, whether he draws influence from other zombie movies or properties, he says, I think the bigger influence for me, for better or for worse, was my knowledge of comic books. Having read the comic and keeping current with it, I feel like I know these characters so well. In a weird way, that was influencing me because when we meet a character for the first time, I already have these opinions and feelings for this character. That could be both a good thing and bad thing. In many instances, I had to make a conscious effort to stop thinking about what I know from the comic and just score the footage in front of me. I think it's that being tricky.
That would be tricky. I would have that.
Being hard to do, because you know what these people have done and are doing in comic.
Yep.
And like you said, you already have a sort of opinion about
I
them.
already got my mind up on Maggie. She hasn't shown up on the show.
She's not even on the show. She'll be on soon though. But
Yeah, Herschel.
Exactly. We know these characters well if you're reading the comic, right? And it's like you have to re-know them on the show. And I can see if you're that close to it and you're trying to work on it, you're like, well, wait a minute, this is Shane, but it's not Shane from the comic.
No, it's not the same
It's different Shane. So you gotta make sure you factor that in. I can see if you can do that. However, everyone involved are professionals and they can separate the comic from the TV show and do what's best for the circumstances. I'm sure.
Get it done.
Get it done. Exactly.
Get that music done.
Finally, in the news this week, this is just kind of a quick one. They AMC logged Walking Dead released the Gallery of International Walking Dead posters, and I just wanted to mention this because I thought it was really fun to see some of the stuff that they use outside North America, mostly in Europe. Although there was some, I think there was one from Korea or somewhere in Asia, but it's fun to see the differences and I like seeing different languages and things like that. So
Yeah, I saw a few.
they're neat. Like there was a time in my life where I was kind of interested in movie posters from other countries.
Yeah.
So sometimes you get the same poster, but the title of the movie was different. And often it's translated, of course. Sometimes translated weird, sometimes the posters were different. And for me, I just found it interesting to see sort of the different ways they marketed films in different countries. Sometimes the actors big up front and center, sometimes not. And so this kind of reinvigorated that old interest of mine.
Did you save all the posters?
No.
I'm gonna do a collage for you. Give you back up.
I should do that. But if I could order one, I could buy one. That'd be kind of fun.
I'll do a collage. You buy it off me.
Have a big like Walking Dead Spanish poster up here behind me.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right.
I'll charge you a fair price.
Good. Printing charge.
No, plus, twice that.
Sure. Big markup. So you can find out on the AMC TV Walking Dead blog. It's pretty cool. All right, time to take a short break, and when we come back after the break, we'll have our Walking Dead actor spotlight on Sarah Wayne Callies. You're not going anywhere. That will be exciting. We'll be right back. After. For you, listeners of the Talking Dead podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial. Give you a chance to check out their service. We have, of course, this week, Mr. Miles.
You know, I think we're gonna do Zombie Fest for the week.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna be here. Zombie Fest is here. Well, next month we'll have 4 exclusive early release zombie novels starting with Expatriates by Peter Klein. With each of the books, you'll get one of Klein's 4 interconnected stories from the Junkie Quatrain as a special bonus written just for zombie fans like you.
I am a zombie fan, that's for sure.
So I guess this has been going on for a while now because there are 4 books out right now. We've got Expatriates, The Infection, Domain of the Dead, and Acheron.
Well, they sound pretty cool. I mean, zombie literature is one of my favorite genres, as you might imagine. And I read World War Z, World War Z, and things like that. And that's, I believe, is a novel. And so these are ones I might consider picking up. I'm always looking for new stuff, and it seems like Audible really wants to find these, obviously.
Yeah, I might get one of these.
That's good. That's exciting. If you want to find out more, go over to audible.com. But before you do that, go to audibletrial.com/talkingdead to download your free audiobook. Again, that's audibletrial.com/talkingdead.
I'm supposed to feel whole. I should be in control. I'm supposed to feel whole. I should be in control.
Okay, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Talking Dead episode number 49, and it is time for our Walking Dead actor spotlight on Sarah Wayne Callies. As we all know, she plays Rick's wife Lori on the program, very important character. And Jason and I went back this week and watched some of her old past material for just to see how she's developed over time, what she's done in her past before landing a role on The Walking Dead. So her most prominent TV role in the past, I think, was on Prison Break. We watched 2 episodes, sort of 3 episodes of Prison Break. This was kind of fun. We watched the first one ever, the pilot, and then the last one ever, the finale of season 4, which turns out also was released as a little TV movie. I think it was released on its own as a TV movie called Prison Break: The Final
I was
Break.
wondering what that was, whether it was after these final 2 episodes or what, but no, thanks to you, I now know that it is these 2 episodes.
They were called The Old Ball Chain and Free, and then they were released or rebroadcast as Prison Break: The Final Break.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pilot first. She wasn't in it that much.
No, she wasn't.
But she did have a couple of key scenes.
She did.
She plays Dr. Sarah Tancredi. And the summary for the pilot is Michael Schofield is in prison in Fox River State Penitentiary. He finds his brother, Lincoln Burrows, who is a death row prisoner, and tells him that he's going to break them both out of prison. So you don't find out too much there. Dr. Sarah Tancredi, played by Sarah Wayne Callies, is the prison doctor.
She is, and the obvious setup for love interest.
The obvious stuff, that's true. Our main character visits her twice, and he's there, with an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Definitely both times.
Well, yeah, he does whatever he needs to do to get in there. He pretends to be a
Bank robber.
No, not that he actually is a bank robber. He did rob the bank, so he's guilty of that crime. But he pretends to be diabetic.
Oh,
to get to the infirmary. So he needs regular shots. He needs to get in there, and he needs. Actually, I did watch years ago. I watched the first season of the show, so I know how she is. How she fits into this puzzle.
Right, okay.
But you already
No,
don't.
I've only seen the first episode and last, so it was kind of fun for me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
It was very compelling. I was surprised at how much I wanted to. Maybe we'll watch the next episode.
Well, it made me want to watch the rest of the show, and when the show was on originally, I never really got the feeling I would get into it. I didn't know people that liked it. I worked with a guy who loved it, absolutely. But I was just never on board. I know they're prison, that's over, like, big deal. But I don't know, this title was really, really good. So I may go back and watch some more.
Really?
Yeah, I might.
It's actually filmed in jail yet, State Penitentiary.
Where's that?
Well, I don't know exactly where it is. But the real prison closed down,
Yeah.
and then your 2000 shortly before they started filming. But the cell that he's in is actually John Wayne Gacy's cell.
That's cool.
And so also Blues Brothers. Jail yet, State Penitentiary.
All right. As for Sarah Wayne Callies, her limited on-screen time, I thought she did a nice job.
She's also her character was related to the governor. The
Oh,
governor?
yes, she's the governor's daughter.
Yeah,
Right.
related to the governor.
Oh, yeah. Related to the governor. There you go.
Could be.
Now, we also watched the final, as we said. She was in this one a lot more. In fact, it was almost all about her.
The Old Ball Chain?
The Old Ball Chain. So the summary here is Michael and Sarah wed. But the happiness is short-lived when the feds apprehend her for the murder of Michael's mother, Christina. Once they hit his order on Sarah, the team reunite to break out an increasingly vulnerable Sarah.
they're out of prison.
They're all out of prison. They're living happily ever after. They get married. They're like sitting there for reception, and she goes back to jail.
Well, they've all been pardoned too, right?
They haven't pardoned for who knows what.
For whatever reason, they're no longer guilty of their crimes. Which is fine for the brother on death row because it was a big setup that he was set up from the beginning.
Right.
But Michael, he actually robbed a bank. He's guilty of that crime.
Right, but he didn't pardon for whatever reason, which we don't really know. But you got to think it's something. Events took place during those other 4 seasons.
He was blackmail somebody.
Well, who knows? Maybe he was working with the government for a while.
Well, that could be
He
too.
paid his debts to society.
So many twists and turns.
See, you don't really know. All you know is that Sarah goes back to jail, and they got to break her up because someone else wants her dead, and that's what hit on her in jail.
She's pregnant.
And she's pregnant. That's right. I forgot about that. Again, I really, really like this. I thought it was pretty self-contained as a little TV movie.
I don't know. This, I like the pilot a lot more than I like these last 2 episodes, and I thought that these last 2 episodes really relied on the bond that you had with the characters, and I didn't feel like I had that bond with these characters, so it felt a little, it didn't quite make it for me.
See, not as much for me. I thought the first half an hour it did need a little bit of backstory. But once she was in the jail and they were hatching her plot together, it was totally self-contained. You didn't need to know anything about anything that happened in 4 years of the show.
That's true.
In my opinion. And I liked it. I can see why they released it as a standalone movie because it's sort of, I'd say 80% works that way. And it was good. It had a good ending. It didn't have a cop-out ending, which a lot of these do. It wasn't totally happily ever after, which is nice.
Right.
And I enjoyed it. And I thought Sarah Wayne Callies showed a lot of range.
I did too. I thought that she was a lot tougher in this than she was in the pilot, which is nice because they set up the character and gave me a feeling of where Lori can go. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that she's gonna do a fantastic job with Lori.
She's gonna need that toughness for sure. She portrayed it in this really well, so I think that's gonna work out for her.
Does she have to be pregnant every show?
Maybe, I don't know. We got
And go to prison?
And go to prison, yeah. It's following a pattern here.
Related to the governor? Huh? It's all there.
It really is. It's all there. That government thing I didn't even think of before, but nice one. So it's cool. I may go back and watch some more Prison Break. I might.
I wish you all the best of
I
luck.
don't have a lot of extra time, so I watch a damn crap load of TV, but the Prison Break's pretty
I
fun.
don't think it maintains the level of these 2 episodes.
I've heard that. Oh, sorry, careful. I've heard that. Yeah, the sort of the middle zone there isn't quite strong. Because it's one of those shows. This is why I was interested in it from the beginning. It's one of those shows where it's like an idea that hasn't been taken far enough beyond like cancellation. It's almost like we got a great idea for a show here, but only last season, so that's all you got.
Prison Break.
And then it goes 4 years, and they gotta make some of it.
How many times can they break out of prison?
Well, yeah, once they're out, oh good, yay, let's change the name of the show.
Yeah, prison. Well, Prison Break. I mean, actually, how it works because it starts off with we have to break out of prison, and then it kind of goes on to we broke out of prison. So this is the Prison Break.
It should be a new start fresh story every season. A different Prison Break. Yeah,
That could be
I think that
interesting.
might be kind of
It's too late now, but that's interesting.
Yeah, well, deep prisoners out there. Call me.
Prison Break. Reimagining.
So, Jason, why don't you introduce the next film of Sarah Wayne Callies repertoire we watched?
All right, so the Celestine Prophecy, starring Matthew Settle, Annabeth Gish, and Sarah Wayne Callies as Marjorie.
Uh-huh.
And so directed by Armand. I'm the word.
Mastriani, I would say.
Mastriani. Okay. An adaptation of James Redfield's novel, but a search for a sacred manuscript in the Peruvian rainforest.
So that doesn't really tell you anything or give anything away.
Well, that's probably the point.
but
Because they gave me away to watch this movie.
holy crap, was this movie terrible?
What? Piece of junk.
This is in my top 5 worst movies I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad, but I don't know if it's top 5.
It is up there with Transformers 2. Like it
That
was.
is your top 5?
Transformers 2, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
I can't think of any movies that are worse than that.
Oh, we could all show you bad movies.
Yeah, absolutely, but the Celestine Prophecy. My wife has read part of the book. She didn't get all the way through the book because she thought it was stupid and hated it. So she watched part of the movie, but didn't get all the way through the movie either. And I must admit, by the end, I was playing Angry Birds on the phone.
Oh, I was.
But I left it on, and I looked
You don't
up
watch TV movies that way.
No, because I like to pay attention to what I'm watching, but this I just couldn't do it.
No, it was such a pile. I couldn't. Yeah, I was doing something to it.
The concepts were dumb. The acting was terrible. Sarah Wayne Callies, I thought, started okay, but by the end, I hate to admit, she was as bad as everybody else in this film. But now none of them had anything to work with.
I didn't believe in any of the characters. I didn't identify with any of them. They jumped right into the story without getting any kind of anything to hang on to, emotionally hang on to. It's just the script was bad, the writing was bad, the idea was bad, totally bad.
Oh, it was so god awful. Like, it was unbelievably crappy. And
There's a 10th prophecy.
yeah, that's
Sorry,
the
did I ruin it for everybody?
Sorry. So I would just like to lay out quickly what this movie was about, and you can tell me if I'm not completely off base here. But essentially, the core idea here was that what they were doing is taking kind of a spiritual concept and weaving evolution into it and combining the two. Essentially saying that everyone was just nice to each other. And
Well, why not? We're getting positive energy.
that's what I'm saying. They went into all this BS about transferring energy back and forth. Like, but the bottom line is be nice to people and be nice and receive niceness back from other people. If we all could do that, we would evolve to a higher state of being and therefore achieve sort of like human nirvana, because that would be the next step of human evolution, a spiritual evolution. Right. Stupid.
It was dumb.
I don't know. If you're totally on board with Celestine Prophecy, I'm all the better for you, but I just don't think it was my cup of tea.
Yeah, I told my wife I had to watch this. She's like, oh, I could have told you that was a bad idea.
She hadn't seen it before.
But she has. Well, she saw part of it. She read the book, and I said, no, I hadn't watched it.
Yeah, it's part of our
me festival. Sorry.
So you wasn't a fan of the book either?
No.
No. Yeah, giant pile of crap. And I hate to say it, but Sarah Wayne Callies was not.
Well, it's not even her fault. I don't think any of the actors' fault. I mean, the script was bad. The direction was, I think, was horrible.
Yeah.
A bad idea from the beginning.
Like I said before, she kind of started okay. Before she was introduced slowly into the film, unlike some of the other characters. By the end, she was a huge part of it and terrible. But at the beginning, when she was just in a scene here or there, I was sort of okay with her. Even the couple scenes where she had the lines that helped. Even when she did start to speak, though, it was okay, but she went downhill.
Yeah. Well, apparently, if you give positive energy, you get positive energy in return. You can be invisible.
Sadly, yeah, that's right. If you're, well, that's part of it. You're invisible to the non-believers, right? And so those people have evolved into that next state.
Excellent.
As long as they can keep that, that's how I want. As long as they can keep that.
I mean, positive energy. You can be positive energy. You can see invisible.
See my wife walk down and see us or not.
Fun stuff.
Celestine Prophecy. The final movie on Sarah Wayne Callies' mini festival here at Spotlight was a film called Whisper from a couple years ago, starring Josh Holloway, who you may remember from Lost, Michael Booker, who you may remember from The Walking Dead, and other things, and of course Sarah Wayne Callies has a character called Roxanne. This was directed by Stuart Hedler, and it goes like this: sinister things begin to happen to kidnappers who are holding a young boy for ransom in a remote cabin. So basically, what happens here is Sarah Wayne Callies, Michael Booker, Josh Holloway, and another guy take this boy captive essentially just as a ransom request to need money. They need money because Josh Holloway wants to open or reopen a restaurant. Sweet. And live a good life.
Well, why wouldn't you get necessarily to do that?
Right. So they kidnap. He's like the son of a politician or something like that. High power prominent.
Josh Holloway is a kid.
No, kid they kidnap.
I haven't seen this. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yes, I know. That's fine. That's why I'm going through it.
Yeah,
And you should watch it. Everyone next week.
Really?
I recommend it.
Really?
This movie was okay.
Was it?
It was kind of your standard run of the mill like evil child thriller,
Right.
which we've seen many times before. But this one was all right.
The evil child who get kidnapped is evil child.
Yeah, the kid they kidnap.
Well, that's unfortunate for them. All they do is open a restaurant, kidnap some poor politician's kid, right? It turns out to be evil.
Turns out to be
Oh,
evil.
horrible turn of events.
Well, yeah, exactly. Some bad things happen to these people. I'm going to spoil it again, so if you do watch it, you're going to know what comes.
Okay.
Everybody dies except Josh Holloway. Now, usually in movies like this, it's at least my experience is that the woman survives.
We survive girl.
We survive girl. In this movie, she definitely is until the end, but she ultimately doesn't survive, and he does.
Does he go through birth now?
Well, kind of. I mean, he goes through windows, he goes through the trees in the forest. I'm gonna give birth on that for you.
Okay.
It's, you know, I wasn't thinking about what I was watching, but I should have. But the boy turns out to be an angel. At least that's how they describe
No,
it.
they're mean
And you can't kill an angel, except maybe you can. So,
You can't kill him. You can kill him.
well, you have to watch
We
it.
watched well, you heard the wings off Angel and they filmed it, and that turns out to be crazy.
Yes, we watched that a couple weeks ago. But in this case, it's not as blatant as that was. John Carpenter thing we watched with Marius. But the boy's okay. I mean, he's creepy. He's get the funny like evil child haircut that they all have. And the acting is alright. Josh Holloway wasn't too bad. He was slightly different than Sawyer on Lost. That's good. Just like a guy like that. And Sarah Wayne Callies was pretty good. I liked her in this. She played the scared victim pretty well. There wasn't a lot of her I don't know, standing up for herself.
Wait, she was one of the kidnappers and she was a scared victim.
Well, she was her role there on the team of kidnappers was to kind of keep the kid in like Denmark. I think that's what they call it. Keep the kid sort of in line and taken care of.
So he's not sexy.
But she was there to keep the kid, feeling like he had a parental figure there, so he wouldn't be too traumatized.
Angel doesn't have a
Yeah, they don't know that, of course. So, but she was okay. She had some pretty emotional scenes. She was always kind of on the kid's side until the end when she realized that he was the one killing him and doing bad stuff.
Right. He used to be mean.
Well, he was a mean little butter. He was.
What angel was he? Did they say?
His name was David. So that's a pretty Christian religious name right there.
It wasn't like Gabriel or
No, he was David.
Michelangelo.
That's right. He wasn't an interlude. But
Michelangelo's a real guy. It wasn't just an
I know that.
It wasn't an angel either.
Ask your average 17-year-old though and find out what they say.
They don't know what Ninja Turtles
That's true. Michelangelo who?
What?
That's right. So the movie was okay. I'd give it say like 6 out of 10 maybe. Something like that. It's worth checking out if you want a couple of decent scares. Oh, something that bugged me though. They used the same sort of wake up from a dream scare 3 times in this film.
Right.
Always with Sarah Wayne Callies. And by the third time I was like, well, she's obviously dreaming or daydreaming. She's gonna wake up, be startled, and there'll be loud noise, and so it sort of wore off on quick. But that was the kid's way of getting to her. So that's why they reused it.
Right.
But it was kind of lame. Yeah, it was kind of lame. She has a long nude scene in the shower. You don't see anything, but she's obviously naked being attacked by wolves.
Wow.
So that's exciting. And they're hiding out in a like summer camp, but it's winter, so nobody's there, and so it's like a big open mass shower type place. Right now, all by yourself. It's very creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there all water?
Yes.
That's nice. The camp in the winter would turn on all water.
It is nice to leave electricity on. And all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
maybe they ran the camp in the summer and went to all the restaurants over in the camp and decided to kidnap an angel.
Sure. Why not?
For ransom. Now, how do they explain the politician being father of an angel?
Well, one gets to see his mother, and the child's adopted. The politician.
Oh,
is
the demi angel, like watching down.
No. Anybody want to know the twist ending?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna give away the twist. If you want to hear the twist ending for Whisper, then tune out now. Okay, everyone's gone. So the twist is that the mother of the boy is the one who hired them to kidnap him, so that because he's been driving her crazy and tormenting her, because he's evil, and she just needed him to be kidnapped and killed, so it didn't look like she killed her own child.
So Josh Holloway knew this and
He
didn't open a restaurant?
didn't know this to begin with. He's taking phone calls from the person who hired him with a disguised voice on the phone, and ultimately he tracks the person down, kind of, and finds revealed that it's the boy's mother, and he's like, what the hell? And she explains to him what's going on, and then he says, I can't do that, I can't kill the child, you hired the wrong guy, regardless of how evil he is. He doesn't really know the boy's evil, and she
Did she say, the boy's evil?
Yeah, she explains this, and then she takes out a gun, standing there, and she says, I'm really sorry to hear that, and then instead of shooting him, she shoots herself in the head. She can't take it anymore. So that's the twist. And it was okay. I didn't see it coming. I'll give them that. It didn't hit me in the face. Well, it did kind of hit me in the face, but I didn't see the ball coming. So that's Whisper. I thought Sarah Wayne Callies was pretty good. The movie was okay, and she was kind of the victim for most of
I
it.
picked the wrong movie to watch.
Oh, you sure did. Holy jeez, I would watch Whisper 100 times before watching Celestine Prophecy again.
Do it.
Wow.
I dare you.
No,
100 times.
no, thank you.
Or watch the Celestine Prophecy again. And no playing Angry Birds. Oh
my god, that movie Celestine Prophecy felt so long.
Oh, it was so long.
I don't know if it was like an hour and 20 minutes or if it was 4 hours, but it felt like 4.
78 hours and 38 minutes.
Oh my god, it was bad. So there we go. That is Sarah Wayne Callies. If you have any thoughts on her performance or anything she's done, send your comments into talkingdeadpodcast@gmail.com or call us on the Zon line at 1-866-433-ZOMB. Let us know what you think. Awesome. Next, Walking Dead Actor Spotlight in 2 weeks. Thank you for the drum roll. Will be John Bernthal.
John Bernthal.
He, of course, plays Shane on the program. And we're going to be watching a movie from 2007 called Day Zero.
Cool.
Don't know too much about that, but it is available on Netflix. In Canada, it's probably in the States. We are also going to watch 2 episodes of Eastwick, which is a show from a few years ago based on the Eastwick, if I'm not mistaken.
That's similar, yes.
We're going to watch the pilot. We're going to do the same thing we did with Watch the first episode of the pilot and the last episode, which is number 13, called Pampered and Tampered.
You.
Sounds good. And we're also going to watch The Ghost Rider from 2010.
I've seen that already, so that'll be nice.
You watch it again.
I will watch it again.
Fresh your
And I've
memory.
also seen 2 episodes of Eastwick.
Okay.
It has, what's his eyebrows? We've seen it again.
Paul Gross.
Paul Gross, so
Paul Gross.
Jane, I want to check it out.
You watch it again, Paul Gross.
Pretty much.
He's good.
Except for Passion, I want Passion.
That's pretty good too.
Passion was really good, but you know, you need a move for a World War movie.
It opens opened the Toronto International Film Festival last year or the year before. I forget now. That's a big deal. So A0, Eastwick Pilot, and episode 13, and The Ghost Rider. And I might go back and watch one episode of Pound Hammer that he was on. Yep, he was only 2 seconds.
Carlos. Carlos, yeah, right at the end.
Well, Lucy, he's the guy that nobody knows at your party.
No, he invited the girl that nobody knows at the
Okay,
party. So they also don't know who Carlos is.
Right, so they don't know
Yeah, they talk to the girl and says, who you know here? Oh, I work with Carlos. Who's Carlos? And, they have 3 parties and Carlos shows up at the 3rd party.
All right, so we might check out Carlos as well, because it'll be fine. I haven't seen that episode in a while. Yeah. That is going to do it for episode number 49 of Talking Dead. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for being here, Mr. Miles.
Well, you're welcome, Christopher.
And if you want to contact us, I highly recommend that you do so. The phone number is 966-483-0MD. That is 483-9662. Toll free call. You can call in your thoughts.
No questions.
Or comments, and there will be no trolls.
Or polls. Or anybody answering the phone.
No,
the volunteer.
The voicemail line. You're not going to get me picking up the phone and like, going, what? Who is this? It's not going to happen. We are on Twitter at Talking Dead, Facebook.com/The Talking Dead, or of course, talkingdeadpodcast@gmail.com. Also, go and check out our friend Dave's Zombie Webcomic Stranger. You can find that at iHeartUnicornsCOO.com. He is going to be at the Toronto Fan Expo in August. And as I said last time, we're going to have him on in the near future, so we can remind people when that is and what he's going to be
We should
doing.
have him on next week.
I think so. Let's talk about that.
Send an email, tell him, or call him, or whatever. The next show, tell him to watch, the shows we're going to watch, and bring him on.
Yeah, or at least some of it. Or you can do the first half and then wrap up. I mean, whatever he wants to do, really. I just hope everyone will go and check out like it on Facebook and to see what he's doing. It's very, very cool. And I think that's going to do it.
That's all.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, what?
Bye.
I was going to try to think of a new sign-off line. We need something.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Big thank you to our sponsor, Audible.com. If you want to get a free audiobook, go to audibletrial.com/talkingdead. So until next week.
2 weeks.
So
Until
until next time, the talking is dead. That's it. All right, bye. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/talkingdead. Over 85,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player. My name is Chris.
My name is Jason.
My name is David.
And this is The Talking Dead, a podcast dedicated to the AMC TV series The Walking Dead. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Talking Dead, episode number 50. It is very exciting to be doing number 50. It is August the 1st, 2011. We are on a long holiday weekend in Canada, and we're celebrating by recording number 50 of the podcast. Are you guys excited for number 50?
I'm very excited. It's Simcoe Day, isn't it? Isn't that what this holiday is?
I believe it is Simcoe Day. We're celebrating George Simcoe, who named the lake. I don't know. I think his first name is George.
So there's like George.
I don't think he named the lake. I think the
George and
Why not, really?
Episode 50, the golden episode.
It's off to a great start already. We should look up what Simcoe